Going on to the military side then, that second app, I think there's a major problem with this in the army. We've spoke about it loads. Have you spoken to anyone in the army, or like you said, is it the marketing's letting you down? They're not, because they brought in these new RFTs, which I have my thoughts on. I'm 50-50 on them. They are good. They do specifically test you a little bit more. I think the way they're tested is a pain in the arse at work, and sometimes they're not done 100% correctly. The SCR is a little bit more specific than the PFT, BFT, whatever you want to call it. But you get your results, and I was chatting to lads at work, and I was like, right, this is why we're doing this. This is why the SCR is, the PTI is taking your results, and basically you should go away and get your own program. They're like, I don't even know what my results are. They just, the results get taken and then entered in whatever it is on the system, and then you never see them again. And this is what you're trying to combat, isn't it? It's strength conditioning workouts at work. It's not specific, is it? You just get in a group, roughly who's the same size as you. Cool, go and lift some weights, and all we're going to do is circuits. How can we combat that? I know you're trying to, but
so utilising the SCR. The SCR is a soldier conditioning review. The idea behind that, and this is my era when I was in the PT course when this was being designed, and I was part of this team known as the Brains. It was about 6 of us. We used to travel around the country upskilling people on why we're doing this. And the whole idea behind it is in order to review someone's physical health, let's say explosive power that we take, lower limb explosive power that we get from the broad jump, for example. The idea behind that is in order to take a quantitative measure and put that into practice somewhere else. So create a program from it to improve lower limb explosive power. And they do that for every component across the board. That's why there's 6 tests in the SCR. But nothing comes from it. Absolutely nothing comes from it. And it drives me absolutely crazy. Again, going back to that competitive knowledge, when this first came about and I had it in Harrogate, for the permanent staff, I created a competition again. I had people competing against each other. I managed to quantify it. It's now in and put numbers on it. So everything they did, I'd have them where they would go, this guy's number 1 across the board. Yes, his 2 kilometers not the best. Yes, his pull-ups aren't the best. Yes, his broad jump isn't the best. But effectively, because he's came 2nd and 3rd across everything, he's number 1 because he's the best at absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Not only did I create that competitive element, I then created a program from it for permanent staff. And the results, again, by the time we went, and again, what happened was people was buying into my program that I'd got from the review, knowing full well that in 4 to 6 weeks' time, the SCRs, people do it yearly, your body's changing, knowing full well they're going to, and they're so competitive now against each other, going, how's that guy number 1? You know, how's she beating me on that? I'm beating her next time, watch. And they're buying into this program, ready to go and retest. And it was, the byproduct of it was incredible. Now these junior soldiers looking at these permanent staff, working their asses off to be a better human being. They're going to do the same. Nothing comes from this soldier conditioning review at the moment. Nothing. No one does anything with it. And it winds me up. And that's what my technology does. It takes on every little bit of data, soldier conditioning review, something I know as the TAPO test. And it basically provides this picture on someone and gives you the best possible pathway to get wherever the commander's intent determines you to be. I have the app to do that. I've got the technology to do that right now. It's good to go right now. And it's just, I personally think it won't come to fruition. Because I'm ex-PT Corps, and I have this strong feeling that PT Corps don't like that I've got out and done something. If I'm being brutally honest, that will get me in trouble. But that's what I feel. And, you know, it genuinely does break my heart because I've got the ability there and it's good to go and it's being utilised in the most elite sporting teams in the world. But the Army feel they've got a better version because they've got the Lone Soldier program, which is a load of shit. And I will go on camera and I'll go on anything. And I've said that from day 1, week 1. The Lone Soldier program was designed for people who needed help the most. Those people needed the most intervention interaction than anyone else in the military. So they gave them the most generic, shittest program in NATO and told them to run away with that. So now you've got the people who are at the lowest of the low, utilizing the lowest of the low program, and they're expecting results. And now what the army are looking at doing is basically putting that into an electronic format. And it's not going to do anything.
They do. Shit. It's at work, mate. It's just a QR code on the wall, and it's like, not doing PT today, so go and do the Lone Soldier program. And you're like, you can't do that. I said it to you before, like my mate is in the reserves, and the core guy or girl there just can't be asked doing PT, so just got them all in the gym and was like, right, Lone Soldier program, off you go. And you're like, what's happened is, like, the army spent all this money. You put in the work, and I know a couple of your mates in the corps did. You went around the army, you did all this. They went to Chichester Uni, spent all this money on the RFT and SCR, and you might as well have just kept the old 8 miler and BFT. Because lads just rock up to the assessments like, oh, I've got to spend all day doing the RFTs again. I've got to spend the next 2 hours doing an SDR. Yeah. What's the point? Where's it going with it? There's definitely a massive flaw.
And this isn't me digging out PT Corps, because 90% of the PT Corps are incredible at what they do, especially the new blokes coming through now, where people are turning up now with master's degrees and all sorts. And, you know, the knowledge is incredible, especially with them working with UKSCA. And they are incredible people. But there will always be some people who will let them down. You know, in other units, the shit people get hid away because everyone else keeps the standards up high. So they just get left in the shadows. You can't do that in the PT Corps because it's one of you in a unit of 600 people. So if you're shit, you're going to get found out really quickly. And you've got the ability to affect so much change because you're in charge of really, really serious shit. Is that if you get it wrong, you get found out really quickly. And so you can't hide. But there always will be shit people in every single unit. That's part and parcel of what we do. And that's the same in any organization around the world. You walk into any Tesco superstore, 10% of the staff in there will not be pulling the weight. 90% might be, and 90% might be the best at what they do, but 10% we're going to bring the team down. So it's the same in any organization. It really does hurt me that I have the ability to basically improve deployability. And not only that, I can tell you why someone isn't deployable. And not only that, I can tell you when they will be ready to deploy.
Yeah.
And I'll give them the best possible pathway you can think of. And I can give a commander at every single level, every single piece of data. I can tell you who can turn left in the door the quickest, who can climb the stairs the quickest. And if we add this weapon system or this amount of ammunition, why that changed their meters per second, and how that now might mean that Soldier 5 needs to stack on the door second. Anything like that you can possibly think of. American military and SWAT teams are looking at it. But it's not good enough for the British Army.
Yeah. Do you know what we need to do, mate? Your Red On Challenge app, your other app, needs to replace, is it the 100% Army Fit app?
Oh my God. That is...
I've trialed it.
Do you know what hurts me the most? Is that, and it's really poor business again, as you can probably tell, I'm a really shit businessman, is that people pay me a lot of money to get them ready for these courses, and they shouldn't have to.
No.
The army should pay for it. You know, it's for an absolute snippet of I can't go on record and tell you what they've done, but the British Army have paid so much money to this company to build this app that turned out to be an absolute shower of shit, and didn't realize at the other end that they have a further fee every single year. So they just sacked it. I'm just sat there like, oh, hello, I've got it there for you.
I trialed that app. I went on like different times and put in different stats in different regiments and corps. I can't come out with the same workout every time. Same 6 exercises, I think it was. Same set of sprints in the same run. Yeah. Nothing ever changed.
And nothing will change. And they can say it's individualized as much as they want, and it's not. It's individualized because you put your cat badge on it. That's what's individualized about it. You change what unit you're in. It's poor. And I have something that's better, that's cheaper, that's ready to go right now. And it's not just a lone soldier program. It's basically a PDF that's been put onto a QR code. And I'm ready to go now. My problem is I haven't hired an ex-general to come and work for me, so. And I won't. If they don't want it, I won't lose any sleep.
So this app, a PTI. Obviously, we're not. I don't want to blame the core blokes for the PTIs. I definitely think it obviously goes higher than that, and it's a lot more in depth, and then you get funding and whatever it is. So PTI can have your app, can take an SDR. Obviously, your commanders have the app as well, and he goes, right, I'm doing a strength and conditioning session today. Well, these exercises, and it calculates everyone's numbers for them. Same with the runs. You can have your different groups, obviously with slow, medium, fast, but we can be more specific. We're going to have a 6-minute mile runners group here. We're going to have a 7-minute mile run group. And instead of going, put your hand up, who wants to go slow, medium, fast? You can go, right, Holman, Chadwick, you're going 6-minute miles, blah, blah, blah. That's what your app can do.
It's basically a clerk for the PTI. So originally when I've spoke about this to, mate, this has been backed by generals, colonels from certain regiments who want it in.
Yeah.
There's a corps that doesn't want it in. Straight away, the corps blokes are like, whenever I've spoke to them about this, get start flapping thinking this is going to take their job. And it's not designed to take someone's job. It's designed to enhance it. It becomes the clerk. So what I used to do was spend hours upon hours upon hours of preparing a session to ensure that it was in consideration of a series of sessions, which was in consideration of the whole program. Thing without going into like cycles and stuff. This basically helps you if you want to do that certain session. If you want to go and improve lower limb explosive power back to the broad jump, it will basically, and you can say, well, these exercises will be the best for you, mate. And if you go and pick any of these exercises, here's the right resistance for that person. So Soldier 1 and Soldier 8 and Soldier 12 can go in a group because they can do the same. So we can utilize a back squat session. Some people might be on 140 kg back squat. Some people might be on sit to stand because they simply can't back squat because mobility showcases that they just can't physically do it. So we need to work on that before we work on this. The app basically takes all of that guessing out for you and gives you the correct pathway for every single person. And so it's there as you're a clerk. It's basically, it's there as an admin for you.
Yeah. Mate, that's insane. Yeah. Let's get all over your marketing.
It's tough for me to think about it, but it's there for the army. Listen, I've never said this before, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say it with the people I work with, but we almost got taken on by the US military. We got to the last day. I delivered a presentation to Google in California, and we got beat to the US military by Microsoft. That's the level my technology company went to. And we got beat by Microsoft. And what we realized straight away is that we bit off far too much than what we could chew. We literally went in. We was going to take on a National Guard state. And what happened is the National Guard then went, we absolutely love it. We want it. We have no control over anybody. We need an arm's length. Because this would be the most perfect thing for the reserves. This would be the best thing for the reserves, whereby if you're only there for one weekend a month, we can basically give you every tool. Now, they don't have to, but at least you're given the tools to be successful. And it is a training program. So when you do turn up on the weekend, we're not trying to get you fitter on that one weekend a month, because that's not going to happen. We're going to make you build up to that. So on the weekend, we can actually work on what a soldier does in the technical and tactical side. We don't need to worry about fitness because we've taken care of that for you. We've given you that. If you're going to fight for Queen and country, the bare minimum we can do is give you physical health. Thanks for that. There's your program. Run away with it. Whatever. And on top of that, a commander can go, oh, such and such has got 100% compliance on fitness. No wonder his 5K has gone from 30 minutes to 19 minutes. He's doing really well. Do you think he'd be good for a Landstrat course? Yeah, put him on. It has that ability to basically showcase everything. Whatever you can think of from a physical standpoint, it has the ability. Five platoon of B company are down at 30% sleep patterns. Why? Well, they've been in the field for 5 out of 6 weeks, so the sleep's been really shit. All right, maybe they need a couple of days off. So improved sleep will improve physical capacity at the other end. Really, really simple processes. So anyway, we had this ability to do that for the National Guard. State wanted it. They then passed it up higher to whoever owns a series of states. That series of states went, holy shit, let me see that. Right, I want you to do that for every state. Now, bearing in mind, we've got this really small company, few developers, me and these elite guys who only in football at the moment and NBA, NFL, all that type of stuff. Very stat-driven sports. We're like, holy shit, what's going on here? Anyway, before we knew it, we'd gone higher and higher and higher. All of a sudden, we got offered this like US military contract. And it was like, mate, this is going to change my life. It was going to be outrageous. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of millions. Wow. The musculoskeletal bone in the US was worth like 3.2 billion. And basically, we would say we'd wipe that. So for you to invest 2 billion, you're going to make money. So anyway, it went crazy, mate. My life was just turning upside down really quickly. I did this exclusive, by the way. No one knows this. And ended up delivering this presentation. I've got the shirt over there that I put on to basically sat there in like trackies and a shirt on, delivering a presentation over another. It was like Zoom, but another one. And we come out of that meeting. I was like, what has just happened? Like, has that really just happened? All these geeks sat around this table. You can see everyone on the table in big Google sign in the background. Crazy. All basically going in on us. More from a technical standpoint. So my business partner was like batting off questions. Mine was all to do with physical health. Come out of it like, holy shit, what has happened? How are we possibly here? If we take this on, our lives are completely changed. Everything changes. And anyway, a few weeks later, we got the phone call and said, unfortunately, been unsuccessful. When we went back onto what's known as SAMS, where you go on, you can see who's taking the public contracts out in the US, and it was awarded to Microsoft. And we was like, how was we in that league? Who the heck? Microsoft must have been going, who are these guys? Like, where have they come from? We still believe we have a better model, but we didn't have a better name. So we said, right, we need to go back over to Britain and just go small early. Let's go small. So we're talking like Scottish Police, the Paras and stuff like that. But we had the ability to do, that was going to take on 1 million people. The US military was happy with us to take on over 1 million people. The US military. We have the ability to have Britain, who's got like, less than 100,000 people in the army. It's like, so we have that ability 100%. And we can do that. We're ready to go, mate. I've never spoken about that before. It's very rare I go on record and speak about that technology, but that is good to go. And it is outrageous. The commander admin panel, what a commander gets access to. And you can put anything in that. So if you want to add, and it can take on any software as well. So it can connect to your Defense Connect. It can connect to the gateway, and you can put your mats through that. And whatever you want to do, you can all go through that, and everyone has access to it. It's all hashed to an nth degree. So one of the biggest things we had to do was basically hide everyone's data when we was going through Google. So they was trying to hack us to get access to the soldiers' data, and they couldn't do it. Which we're pretty confident that way we'd be all right in Britain. So no one's data will ever get caught, and it's just basically, it just makes people grow really quickly.
Man, that's insane. Well, hopefully, mate, I genuinely do hope it all works out for you and it gets out there, not just for you, because it'll be life-changing for you, but generally. And yeah, I'm not battering the core or anything like that. Definitely, there's something that needs to change within the military when it comes to physical and mental health. I feel like sometimes there's people sort of going for the cheaper, sort of quicker option. So yeah,
it's for the core. I just want to help the PTIs and PT, because the PT core blokes and women, they get absolutely thrashed from every angle. They're not just their sole thing is to basically sort the program out. Ensure that people are physically ready to deploy.
Yeah,
that's front and center what they need to do. But when they're over here and the CO's tack, or they're delivering a fucking badminton comp over in Aldershot or whatever it is, it takes away everything that they're supposed to do and what they're really good at. So if I can help them do that and basically take the admin out of that, and take the guesswork out of it, and say, all you need to do is ensure that's delivered to the utmost ability, and you still have complete control over the whole programming. We just provide you that little bit of extra, like what tempo someone should be working at for X amount of exercises, what meters per second someone can travel at for over 20 meter shuttle runs, whatever you want to do. it's there to basically help you and just give you that little bit of admin support so you can go and develop people. That's what it's there to do. It's not there to take over anyone. It's there to support them. And it can be incredible putting those expertise with a little bit of admin support and a little bit of help from someone else who's got expertise. You know, the end product would be unbelievable.
Yeah, it would literally change how, as a military, we would be able to deploy, which is obviously a big thing with numbers dropping, deployability numbers, like soldiers on the ground getting lower and lower. We're turning into a digital world. So those small frontline troops that you do have need to be deployable all year round. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out for you. I reckon it will. I think you're slowly getting in there, like you said, with other people. I think once you name, it's all comes down to name who you know, isn't it? A lot of time in life. You can have the best technology in the world, but if you don't know the right people, you're not 100% trusted at the minute, and that's come down to it. And that's, you're still early in your career. How long you been out in the army now? A year and a half?
1 year, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think.
I've never officially been out. I went straight into the reserves. I've been doing things with them, but I got offered like a full-time contract with them, so I've been working with the reserves. So it's.
Oh, have you? Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
all good.
Oh, mate. Well, it's been about an hour and a half. So.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a really good chat, mate. Honestly, we've wanted to do this for ages. Before we go, though, just for the viewers that don't know, what's your Instagram? If you want to get your email out there, and then socks as well. People do need to go and check out your socks. Where can they find? Where?
The sock game, sock dog, crazy.
Good pair of socks. I'll vouch for that. But yeah, where can people find you, mate? Where can they get in contact with you?
Get me on social media at Coach Mike Chadwick, and you'll find me. Or search for that on Google. And then if you want to look at the challenge, just type in Red On Challenge on any app store, or type in Rock App on Google, and you'll find it. And if you have any questions, or you want any help on any physical pathways, then I'm more than happy to answer anything. And that's what I spend my life doing now, is just trying to help people through social media. So find me anywhere, and I'll do my best to help you. And if I don't know it, I'll definitely know someone who does.
Mate, that's awesome. Honestly, it's been really good chatting to you, mate. Thanks.
Been a pleasure, mate.
Taking the time for coming on. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day with your family and that, or whatever you're doing. And I'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Catch you in a bit.